Yo, what's good everyone? This is Ayo Boxing with Madiba, and here's my fight prediction for Murodjon Akhmadaliev versus Marlon Tapales. So, Murodjon Akhmadaliev, also known as MJ, the unified WBA IBF champion at 122, is making his return to the ring this weekend on the DAZN undercard of Bam Rodriguez versus Christian Gonzalez after a long layoff due to an injury. And he'll be fighting against and defending his belts against Marlon Tapales, a former bantamweight champion. Despite this being an undercard fight between two smaller names, this is the best and most important fight this weekend because it will determine if the winner of Fulton and Inoue will become undisputed this year, since MJ holds two of the four belts at 122, which are the WBA and IBF, while Fulton holds the WBC and WBO belts. I predict that this fight is going to be entertaining and action-packed, but I believe that MJ will win this fight. However, I would prefer that Tapales wins this fight. The reason why I think MJ beats Tapales is because of styles. MJ is a Uzbekistan boxer with an Olympic pedigree. He's a technical southpaw, and he has an Eastern European boxer puncher style. MJ has a good southpaw jab, he can counterpunch, and he has good timing. He has a good right hook, and he can throw his left hand in a variety of ways. He has power, especially in that left hand. He does a good job attacking the body as well, and he can box and move off the back foot and fight at distance. Tapales, on the other hand, is a southpaw Filipino boxer. He's very explosive, and he has power and speed. He uses that in and out bouncy footwork like Manny Pacquiao. He likes to use the high guard trap to counterpunch, and his best punch is the left hand, but he also has a good right hook. Tapales fights his best when he's facing an orthodox fighter, but in this fight, he'll be fighting another southpaw. Tapales is pretty much a Manny Pacquiao clone. Styles make fights, and MJ has a style to beat Tapales. The Filipino boxers of this generation usually struggle and lose when they fight technical boxers that have good jabs, can counterpunch, and can box and move on the back foot, and can fight at distance. Examples include Mark Magsayo versus Ray Vargas and Gary Russell Jr., Paul Butler versus Jonas Sultan, Rais Salim versus Mike Planea, Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Raymar Caballo. Furthermore, Tapales was beaten and knocked out by a southpaw before. Ryosuke Awasawa stopped Tapales with a straight left hand in the 11th round in their fight in 2019. Before the stoppage, Tapales was getting hit with a lot of counterpunches from Awasawa, and he was missing a lot of his punches because Awasawa managed to maintain his distance and fight at his range. MJ, on the other hand, was able to beat and knock out Awasawa. I know that the triangle theory in boxing doesn't work, but MJ is a better fighter than Awasawa, and MJ has all the tools to beat Tapales. The only way that Tapales wins this is if he can apply constant pressure throughout the whole fight and can hurt and knock out MJ. MJ has struggled in the past with guys who can apply pressure, and he's been hurt to the body before. But I believe that MJ will beat Tapales and even knock out Tapales. The reason why I prefer Tapales to win this is because I think it'll be easier to make an undisputed fight with the winner of Fulton and Inoue with Tapales rather than MJ. Eddie Hearn has expressed that he wants to make MJ fight for undisputed, but only against Inoue. You have to realize that MJ and Fulton could have fought prior to this year and unified the belts, but that never happened. Maybe because there was political reasons, since MJ is signed to Matchroom while Fulton is signed with PBC. Eddie Hearn probably believes that Inoue will beat Fulton, but if Fulton beats Inoue, I doubt that Eddie Hearn will make that fight. Tapales, on the other hand, is signed to Manny Pacquiao Promotions, which means he fights on the PBC Showtime cards usually. Therefore, if Fulton beats Inoue, it would be easy to make a Fulton-Tapales undisputed fight. But if Fulton loses to Inoue and Inoue wins, I guarantee that Tapales would fight Inoue regardless because Inoue is the cash cow in these lower weight classes, and I don't see Manny Pacquiao or Sean Gibbons or Al Heyman opposing that fight. But who knows, this is boxing, anything can happen. But thank you for tuning in with Ayo Boxing from Madiba. Hit like and subscribe, and more content's coming your way.